guys, it's Kushi. Happy Easter to all you guys who celebrate Easter. So today for Easter, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this Easter chick cake. And what I like about this cake is that you can really have fun with it and experiment with it to the type of the color, like the color of the frosting, to the texture of the fur, using your piping tips. It's just a very fun activity that you could do with your friends, siblings, cousins, and it's just a very fun activity besides, your scavenger hunts or decorating your Easter eggs. So I hope you guys enjoy this kind of tutorial, I guess, on how to make this Easter chick cake. Now, before we get on to the video, if you are new to my channel and you enjoy my content, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and tell me in the comments down below what your favorite activities are to do during Easter. My favorite have to be decorating the eggs, baking the treats, of course, and eating all the chocolate because it's so yummy. Anyway, so let's just hop right on to the video. Okay guys, so let's get started making our Easter chick cake. So for this cake, you'll be needing 2 6-inch cakes and 1 9-inch cake. And right now, all I'm going to do is level off the top of my cakes to make them all even and flat. So when I frost them, it's just easier for me. So I'm using a serrated knife today, but you could also use a regular knife. But in my opinion, a serrated knife does work better because of the little, crevices it has. So anyways, a tip that I'm going to give you is to put your hand on top and gently slice the top layer off. Some people also turn it around, but you could do whatever you like. And I am sick right now, so if I sound a little clogged and stuff, don't mind. It's just I have a really stuffed up nose. So this is my bowl where I keep all of my cake scraps. So this is just from the 2 6-inch cakes, but we're gonna be getting many more scraps. Now don't throw this away because it makes a great snack. Or you could also make, put in the oven and make some cake, crust stuff that you could put on other cakes. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and beat my frosting. Now I'm using a store-bought frosting just to save some time, but you could also make your own. And since I'm using a store-bought frosting, I'm gonna use my electric mixer to beat it since they have lots of air pockets. And when I'm piping, I do not like air pockets because it sometimes ruins your piping. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and empty the can. And now I'm just going to go ahead and tint it using this gel yellow frosting. Since I didn't have yellow food coloring at all, I completely forgot to get that from the store. So luckily I had this and I'm just going to use it. And I wanted a yellow pale color. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that in to achieve my pale color. You could make it brighter, but I'm just going to make a pale yellow since I used the entire tube. And that's the only color I got. So yep, so I'm just gonna beat this together and until I achieve my desired color. Now if you're using the whipped vanilla frosting like I am, then I recommend for you to use 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar into your frosting and just beat that together since the consistency of the frosting was very loose. So when you add in your powdered sugar, it just helps the consistency to make it more sturdy. So when you're piping, your piping doesn't droop and drop, which mine kind of did sometimes around the cake. So yeah, I'm just gonna beat that together and then scrape down the sides. Quick tip I'm going to give you, you could also add just a little bit of red food coloring to make your yellow frosting a little bit more brighter. So if you're using a yellow gel food coloring or just the liquid one and you want it to be a little bit more brighter and have a little bit more depth to it, then you can also add a little bit of red food coloring. So I'm just going to beat that together until it's a bright color. So now I'm just going to go ahead and transfer my frosting into my piping bag, and I just went ahead and placed my bag onto a glass, but you could also use a vase, and this is just very helpful when transferring your frosting to your piping bag. And I just went ahead and fitted a star tip on my bag as well, but you could use a rose tip, a grass tip, whatever tip you'd like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and transfer it into my bag, and make sure you only transfer it until the line. And some piping bags have the line, some piping bags don't, but I will recommend not for you to fill your frosting all the way to the top. because it will be really hard for you to pipe, and sometimes what happens is that your frosting will come out of the top, and you do not want that to happen. Trust me, it's like a disaster when that happens. So yeah, I'm just gonna twirl off the top. You could also use a rubber band to tie it, but I don't really like that, so I'm just gonna do that, and I'm just gonna go ahead and test it to make sure it's the right consistency. So yep. Time for you to start carving your cake. So I just have my 6-inch cake here, and I'm just using one of my 6 inches, and I also have my 9-inch underneath it. So now we're just gonna carve it. So I'm basically gonna take my 6-inch, place it a little bit on the 9-inch, and then use a serrated knife and cut that out. And what is this gonna do is the 9-inch will represent the body, and the 6-inch, when you place it into the cake, once you take that part off, will represent the base of the cake. So yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish that. Okay guys, so I showed you what I just did. Now, I already did a couple of other things, and I wanted to do this on camera on my table. But what is that my table is so small, and it's so hard for me to show you everything. And my cake is so moist that it keeps like breaking apart, so I'm trying my best to make you understand, so I'll explain to you. Okay. So this is my work surface because my table is in the living room. So these are all my scraps, and this is just 2 cake pans. And that's just a section, and this is my chick. Now you guys might be saying, how did you do that? Okay, so this middle layer here that represents the chick's body is of our 9-inch cake, which I cut a section off, which is laying over there. The head is of our 6-inch cake, and with our other 6-inch cake, I cut out some wings on either side. And then with the middle section that looks like a bow, I trimmed it and cut it in 2 feet. So that's how I assembled it. Okay, so I'm so sorry for that previous footage. I know you can hear lots of water in the background. That's my fish tank. So I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. It's just the cake kept breaking on me. So anyways, I just went ahead and placed my cake on this cake board. And if you don't have a cake board, you could also use a pizza pan and just cover it in tin foil like I did. If you don't have enough time and like people are coming to your house for Easter and you really want to hurry up the process, then you could just do that. You could also use some wrapping paper, whatever you got, really. You can really have fun with it. So all I'm doing is using my frosting to adhere all of the pieces to the cake so that it doesn't switch up. And after a couple of while, I'm going to take my other tub of frosting and just use that since I don't want to waste my yellow frosting. So yeah, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to give my cake a crumb coat. Now a crumb coat is a thin layer of frosting that that sticks all the crumbs to the cake so that when you do your final coat, the crumbs don't appear in your final coat because that will not look nice. So yeah, you just do a crumb coat, place it in the fridge or freezer for 10 to 15 minutes until the frosting is like not sticky anymore. So yeah, that's all you're gonna do. And I'm using an offset spatula to help me, but you could also use a butter knife or a regular knife, whatever you got. So I'm just gonna finish doing that. Like I said before, I'm just going to go ahead and place this in the fridge or freezer to 10 to 15 minutes until the icing isn't sticky anymore. I don't know how this happened, but my camera was horizontal, but it was filming vertically. So you could see the vertical black lines, which I'm very sorry about. But anyways, what I'm going to do now is take my yellow buttercream frosting that we placed in a piping bag, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the entire top surface of the cake with just piping my stars. You can also use a rose tip, a grass tip, whatever you like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish piping. So since I went ahead and covered my entire top surface of the cake with my stars that I piped, I'm just going to go ahead and cover the sides of my cake. And I'm not going to pipe it. You could totally pipe your stars on the side as well. But the consistency of my frosting just was a little too loose for the sides, so it kept flopping down. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my offset spatula and just spread the frosting outside the sides of my cake. We're just gonna start assembling the face of our chick. So I'm just gonna take some white buttercream frosting, place that in a piping bag, and dollop on 2 circles for the eyes. And then I'm gonna take some black buttercream frosting and pipe on 2 small round circles for the pupils of our eyes. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take some red gel frosting that I'm gonna use as the nose or the beak of our chick for the nose. And then I'm going to take my black buttercream frosting again and use that for the eyebrows of our chick. Now you could make like a smiley face, whatever you'd like, but I still wanted to make my chick a little bit more realistic looking. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the eyebrows and just some red coloring on the feet of our cake just to represent each of the toes. And then we're just going to be done. As well as some eyelashes for our chick. So I'm just going to take my vanilla buttercream frosting and just make 2 lines on either side of my eyes just to represent the eyelashes. So happy to announce, but this is our final product and the chick looks so cute and adorable. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to make an Easter chick cake, and I hope you and your families have a great Easter and happy holidays. Bye guys, see you next week with another video. If you have any other suggestions for like baking videos, hairstyles, any other, then don't forget to tell me in the comments down below because I'd love to make it happen. Bye!